Krim here with the follow-up video for Chungus. This was actually a request for a DPS with how the weapon works. Now, I'm trying to make it as flatline as possible. I wish I had a Chungus at 1, but I don't. I wish I had the weapon at 1, but I don't. So anyway, the weapon is going to be hitting a little bit harder than the baseline, and I'm gonna bring it up and have it be compared with the Sacrificial Greatsword. It's not the perfect comparison because this one has physical damage on it, which kind of is a little weird. I'd prefer to have cryo on it, but physical, I guess, can make him ideal for all situations, so I guess that works, especially with his C1, since you can proc the cold with the C1. Just showing a few of the talents and everything else, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the tests. We're going to have multiple tests for this with various different degrees of difficulty. The first one is just going to be straight baseline, and we're going to not have anything that's going to affect our crits or anything like that if we can help it. We're also not going to have any of the elemental resonance going on. That's going to be saved for a later test, and with this test we're going to be basically only bringing Zhongli around for his massive shield. A shield that will basically let my level 20 survive fighting level 70s. So let's just go showing this. Pretty much nothing going in here. The shield is pretty meaty, especially when he's built up, but that's for a different video. I'm not going to have much commentary during the fights, so enjoy the fight. For test 2, we're using the Sacrificial Greatsword as a variable. Now, the results were not that impressive, unfortunately, but that was to be expected. It had a very low chance of proccing the Sacrificial effect, even at Refinement 2. So it's more or less just going to be a DPS loss the entire way. Test 3 is where we actually start to use some crits. Now, I combined the elemental affinity and also just a variety of artifacts that gave just crits and tried to avoid any attack. So I should crit more often when enemies are frozen, so I'm abusing this one that happens to be standing in water so I can also get the shatter effect, which is a physical attack that happens whenever a greatsword hits someone that's frozen. Anyway, the video is also sped up because this took a long time. Crit rates, I could only get it up so high without also boosting the attack, and I didn't want to do that, so... And now for a few plunge attacks. Not that it really matters, considering plunge attacks vary based on how high up you are, but it doesn't hurt to have a few. These last two tests, I gave myself some decent artifacts so I could actually hit some high numbers, and just show you how ridiculous it is at level 20. So the crit's still about the same, have more crit damage, and better energy recharge, not that that matters for this character. But yeah, as you can see, the numbers are much higher, and because of the difference in scale, I didn't feel like it was necessary to actually record the numbers. It would have been the same process as what I did before, only spread out more. And for the icing on the cake, let's go ahead and have the elemental resonance going on top of the artifacts we already have. Now pay attention to some of the damage numbers from the icicles. It's kind of hard to see because of the cryo getting in the way, but I was able to hit for about 1,000 with the ice crystal. So it scales pretty well considering this is refinement 1. And I had a graph at the start of the video showing how high it gets. You can get up to where it's 100% chance to always do this, and the values just get insane. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.